What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sharing and subscribing all the content that we've been putting out over the last couple of months. All you new subscribers that have joined in, welcome. Hopefully you guys are finding some of these videos useful or entertaining to some degree. Anyways, let's get into it. We went to IFO last week, and first things first, our cooling system is completely under control. There's no more cooling issues. I don't have to worry when I put the AC on. We drove down to Import Face Off at Lebanon Valley Speedway, and it was 95 degrees outside through parts of that trip. And we put about 325 miles on the car during that weekend. And the whole time on the highway, no issues. The whole time, stop and go during 95 degree, 1 o'clock in the afternoon heats. No problems. AC bumping, no problems. We've installed that XTD Stage 4 clutch system, and for the price that we paid, a few $100s versus the cost of an ACT system with our lightweight flywheel and their, what was it, the 2600 and 2700 systems. I mean, you're looking at spending almost $1,000 on that clutch. I've got nothing negative to say about ACT. I love that stuff. It's just I didn't have the money at the time to do it, so I went with the cheaper alternative, the eBay XTD Stage 4 system. And for the first 500 miles, it was a little shaky when you'd take off in first gear. If you were on a hill, you'd get a little vibration in the car, and after it bedded itself in and it was driven for a little while, between 500 and 800 miles, everything smoothed back out. I turned the car up to like 24, 26 pounds every once in a while. I don't like to leave it there. I like to drive around with like 20, 23 at the most. But sometimes you get some spikes, or you turn it up a couple clicks and you just have some fun at night, and those nice cool summer nights. I haven't had any slipping, any shaking, any crazy issues. It doesn't fight it to go in gear, and that clutch has held everything I've thrown at it so far. It's been really good. So for the price that I paid, I can definitely say that I recommend using one of those with the OEM throwout bearing. Anyways, boys, let's get into today's topic. Oh, side note, this little section over here, I wanted to share this with you guys last time. I've got some really big things showing up here in the next couple of days that I'm going to show you guys in the next video, hopefully the next video. I've got a big system that we're going to install. We're going to have some equipment here. It's just going to fill this whole wall up. So we got a bunch of really cool things in the works. But anyways, today's video, I ended up going out at 6:30 in the morning, getting a phone call from a friend who was stuck on the side of the road. She needed her battery jumped in her car, so we did that. And I was going to take you guys up through Lake George east side and go for a nice long drive and just have some fun and show you the sights up there. But as we come back, it was pouring rain, and I started to slow down at stop sign. I could hear this horrible grinding noise coming from my driver rear tire. So I think I might have a brake caliper that's stuck, or a worn out pad or something back there. So we're going to go outside, pull the back wheel off this thing and take a look at it real fast. Hopefully it's a brake pad or something, because they're Duralast pads, and I definitely have a lifetime warranty on those things, so we don't have to pay any money to swap them. So like I was saying, I was driving down the road this morning. It's beautiful out right now. It's actually a nice little breeze out here. This wheel started going nuts, and I couldn't tell what it was, but now that I'm looking at this, I don't know if you guys can see, it's not looking too pretty in here. Looks like we have either no pad left or the pad broke. I can't really tell, but you can see this rotor is really only getting surface contact on 3/4 of an inch of the space of that whole rotor. That's ugly. I don't know, maybe the pins are rusty on the caliper again. Who knows? Let's pull this wheel off and figure it out. I figured out what the problem was. These rear brakes are absolutely gone. This is the pad that was on here, and I could have sworn I changed these about a year and a half ago. Apparently I must not have. These are bad. Shame on me. There is nothing left on this, but luckily for us, the second it started making some noise, we caught her. These are the backing plates. The rotor Doesn't look bad. It doesn't look like it's been destroyed. It's still smooth. I think what I'm gonna do is take this rotor off, take it downstairs, and I'm gonna clean this off, clean this bracket off. Then we have to take the other side off and get that ready. I've already got another set of pads on the way. Let's just see if we can clean some of this stuff up before we put it back on. Caliper, I'll recompress it, and we're just gonna work our way through all this. Okay, boys, so that's kind of embarrassing. These brakes are shot. Obviously completely destroyed. A year and a half ago I was having horrible brake squeal issues. I could not figure out what the heck it was. Replaced all these components, but here we are again. It's been probably 2 years, not a year and a half, we'll call it 2 years. But this rotor, I thought that I could salvage it, maybe have it turned, but the rust and pitting is just so bad on the inside here. And then because of the contact of the metal on metal back here, we have a beautiful extra ring dug in. Now I know I could be cheap and I could throw fresh pads on this, and technically the pad would bite into that because it is a deep groove, but that would be another chunk of pad that would be weak. It would be brittle very fast, it would fall apart, and these are ugly and old. So we're gonna add these to the scrap bin. Luckily the parts store has replacement stuff, so we're gonna make a quick trip over in the Focus. Maintenance, maintenance, maintenance. I'm gonna write this down next time. Made it back from the parts store. What is this crap? Shop Pro non-chlorinated brake cleaner from AutoZone now. They don't have the good stuff anymore. They have this. I don't know. Not really a fan. I've used this before. This stuff doesn't do very well. Anyways, we got ourselves some DG383 rear brake pads. These are the golds. They have that ceramic stuff in them. These are really good compared to their knockoff cheapy ones that they have. Those tend to fail a lot quicker than some of the other ones that I've used. That's what's on the back. Well, what was on the back before was the cheap ones. This one right here. We have ourselves 2 brand new rear rotors. They don't come with a rubber plug. That's right here. You got to save that rubber plug for the adjustment for the parking brake. But I don't want to throw these in the car yet until I have these protected just a touch. So I think what we're gonna do, I also have something else I left out in the car I gotta go get, but I think what we're gonna do, I haven't done this on the front ones before or the rears, but my buddy with the 240, he's got, you know, really nice coated stainless brakes on his car, and they look fantastic months down the road. He doesn't drive as much as me, but still, I think what I want to do is clean the rust off this and the other one on the car, and I think what we're gonna do is paint the hats and this lip right here on these rotors. We're not going to hit the stopping surface, but we will do like the inner lip here, and we'll watch out for, you know, all the parts that make contact. I know you can paint a brake rotor, you can paint the whole thing, and the second you hit the brakes it cuts the paint off. I just don't trust that. I don't want to put paint on my brake pads or my stopping surfaces. I just feel like that's a bad idea. But I'd like to avoid having this. I don't want rust and corrosion and crap all over them again, even though chances are the paint's gonna get pulled off when you crank the wheel on, or it might stick or something. Whatever, I'm gonna fight against it just a touch. I'm gonna try to make it so it's not that big of a deal. We're gonna get rid of these junk rotors. I gotta go outside, pull the other side off. Then we're gonna line these up, clean them, clean off these calipers, caliper mounting brackets and the calipers outside, and hopefully we can clean up all the brake system, re-lube everything once it's all painted up. And I just turned this into a way bigger project than it needs to be. All right, boys, I got the other rotor pulled off here. This is pretty broken apart and brittle on the edges, and the pads on this one are fine. These ones have a lot of life. This is the left side and the right side. I'm gonna try to take these all apart, degrease them. I've got some super clean right here, and I'm gonna take and hit these with the wire wheel and go through and just try to clean some of the crap off the surface of them, give them a quick coat of paint. I've got some primer for VHT, I've got primer, and I have caliper paint right here, so I'm going to use it on the brake brackets and the calipers. project has turned into a heck of a lot more than I planned on doing. I was just going to change some pads, but now I've got 2 brand new rear rotors masked off. They've got 2 coats of VHT gray primer and VHT silver caliper paint, and a shot of the high temp VHT clear over the hats and over the calipers. I also did the ones outside attached to the car. Did a little bit of undercoating work while I was back there. Now we're going to peel some masking tape and check and see what the final result here is, because I'm hoping they come out good, and I hope that this looks alright. It honestly looks like I messed up one spot already. Yeah, I definitely did. I'm going to have to peel and spray that spot right there. Put too much freaking tape on it. That's alright. We got another can over here on the shelf of cans. So I'm going to fix that real fast, peel this one off, show you what it looks like. Looking at all this, it came out pretty good with the exception of that one little spot right down there where I accidentally didn't look to see if the tape was touching. It still had primer on it. Don't know how it got primer but no paint. I don't know. Anyways, there's paint on the hat. Nothing on this side, nothing on the inside of the hat, nothing on the back side of the rotor. Actually, I'll flip it around and show you. This is just factory on the inside here. There's a tiny bit of overspray that got onto the inside here where the e-brake hits, but it's not enough to raise any concerns in my eyes personally. But what do you guys think about actually painting the entire rotor? Because I saw some guys, I was just searching to see if anybody had any insight on this, and you know, searching the rabbit hole of YouTube, I saw a lot of guys giving instructionals on how to paint your rotors, but they're painting everything. I mean, they're painting the crosshatch, they're painting the hats, the lip on the edge. I always find the rust on the lip and on the hat, just like you saw in the other ones that are over in the trash now. I don't think that that's a good idea personally. I just feel like anything that could compromise your stopping ability, maybe paint gets gummed up in there, or maybe you're in a dusty area and that happens to create a hot sticky residue that attracts the dust from the brake pads, and maybe it takes 10% of your braking ability away. I don't know. I haven't ever had an issue where somebody had painted my rotors before, but I was always taught not to. Let me know what you guys think down below. Good morning, boys. It's the next day. We spent a few hours yesterday getting our back brakes replaced, and I don't know what caused it, but the driver's side rear was completely cooked and the passenger rear was completely fine. So maybe that's why I missed this one. I think the last brake I took off was on the passenger side rear. Looking at those pads, I was like, oh well, we have a lot of life on these things still, and unfortunately we ended up not. But anyways, quick comparison. Yes, I know the car needs a bath badly. You can see how crusty and rusty these replaced in the last 12 months, 15 months front calipers and rotors are. That's what I'm trying to avoid with the rear. I think we're going to do these front calipers here shortly. Maybe take these rotors downstairs once we get our sandblaster all set up and sandblast them, get them nice and clean again, and do the same thing we did to the rears. But now that I got the rears all installed, you can kind of see they definitely look a lot better. They're nice and silver and clean and fresh pads. I should have done the dust shields black again. I did some touch-up painting on the inside of the wheel arches where the undercoat was kind of rubbed away. I really think I'm going to go through this whole car on each one of the 4 corners here and undercoat all the stuff again and check all the bushings and all that very, very soon. But I got some more tools coming. So anyways, we're gonna pick up where we left off. Man, this thing looks ugly too. Time for an antenna delete. Yeah, I don't know, guys. It's a work in progress still. We're chipping away at it as we can. Also, what's a good paint that would work on this? Or should I vinyl wrap this? Because this black is coming off pretty significantly from the heat. I don't know, this trim is just looking ugly. So I was looking at Plasti-Dip or doing a black trim paint. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know down below.